sparkling like a jewel in the sunshine. The fabulous Gold Coast, Australia's premier holiday destination, and venue for the Griffith University Paradise Regatta. We've got the best crews in the country on show here today for what promises to be a dramatic day of racing. And we cannot go past what will be the heavyweight showdown between the national crews of Australia and New Zealand as they go head-to-head in the eights for the very first time in history, competing for the prestigious Trans-Tasman Cup. And now, in the best traditions of great Trans-Tasman rivalry, it's the eights, Australia versus New Zealand. And the Australian crew with Francis Hegarty at stroke, Michael Toon is the cox. We've got Mackenzie McHarg, Marburg, Free, Conrad, Link, Purcell and Bidwell.
New Zealand has the cox, Matt Cameron, stroked by Hamish Bond, Burson, Twaddle, Drysdale, Williams, Weir, Candela, Watson and Uru. Two outstanding crews and outstanding credentials.
Wow, this is going to be some race. And again, a reminder, it is not a straight course. 2,000 metres on the Nerang River with three bends. So first one crew, then the other crew is going to have a slight advantage when they come to the turns. It's going to be very difficult to keep track of exactly who's in front.
We have a start now between Australia and New Zealand, and it's going to be really important to try and get that early lead, especially in this first bend. This is the first time that the two crews have lined up against each other in history.
In and along. Good start, boys. Stay on this. 142. Moving with the boat.
Close up with the Australian, now with the New Zealand crew. Tell me, Nick, where's the main strength in the Aussie crew?
Australians are very strong out of the start. They really need to take advantage of that because the New Zealanders are going to be very good towards the end, which is their main strength, as we saw in the ergometers earlier in the day.
And rhythm together. This one now. That's a three-quarter lead. No one.
New Zealand boat's full of a galaxy of stars, though.
That's right, Maheen Drysdale, who just won the World Championship in the single scull. We have the pair that won the World Championships. You have past Olympians, we have current World Champions, but Australia is equally just as good. The Australian crew has Duncan Free, who won the gold in the pair last year, as well as the four from Beijing last year that got the silver medal. And they're all in the boat along with Jared Bidwell, current silver medalist in the men's quad. And we can see here in the race, though, Australia has pushed out to a nice solid lead there, coming into that bend, and we can see New Zealand just trucking wide.
Critical stage of the race here on the first bend. Australia with a length lead and the advantage now of the bend, so they can break away from the New Zealanders here.
The length, that's good. We're still coming around the turn, though. Keep hard on the bow side off the front.
Got a lot of bends coming up, so the two crews will probably swap leads a few times. We're hoping to see that. We're coming up to the bridge. Australia's got that nice long lead. We've got some great hammer shots there we don't often see with the rowers, and Australia there pushing away to about a length clear water over the New Zealanders, coming up to Sheldon Bridge.
On board with both crews here, sound and vision.
Rhythm and length to the bridge. Good job. Big sharper out front there, Darren. And
length and a half now on the Aussies. Moving through with them. This is the one. Now. Yep. Squeeze and relax. Yeah, all right, boys. This is coming up to our corner. Start moving.
You can hear the New Zealand cox just staying nice and calm, encouraging his crew, knowing that he's got a nice in-tight bend coming up.
Good work. Let's give him a bit of welcome to Queensland, hey? Sit back. Welcome to Queensland.
You're going to see the Australians come under the bridge now, still with that nice handy lead, but they know full well that the Kiwis are going to come up on them fast when they come around the bend.
Well, the Australians gained 3/4 of a length on the last bend. They're probably going to lose it on this bend as they come up on the Chevron Island Bridge.
Coming up on the bridge, the Kiwis are going to have the inside corner, and we've got to keep in mind that these boats are very hard to turn. They're designed for a straight course, so they have very small rudders with very small movements. It's going to be really interesting to see if the coxswains take the right line in getting the boat around around the corner without trying to crash into each other.
Moving into the second half of the course now, and this is as tough as any sporting rivalry between Australia and New Zealand. They go head-to-head on the rugby field, the rugby league field, and in netball, but nothing matches this.
No love lost between the two crews. The New Zealanders coming up to the corner, trying to line the boat up. You can see they're turning around to have a look at the Australians. Where are they? What are they doing? And the Australians can see the Kiwis coming.
Well, it was a length and a half. It's now 3/4 of a length. New Zealand are making up ground on the inside of this bend. The Australians struggling at this point, I would say, to maintain their rating. They've gone out very hard early. You know the Kiwis are going to finish hard.
Hamish Bond really driving the Kiwis into that corner. This is their opportunity to try and make up some of that ground. And you can see the Cambridge shot from the finish line. Australians starting to move up and around that corner. And there are the Kiwis pushing hard into that corner to make their advantage.
Hey, look at this. This is Matt Cameron, the Kiwi Cox. He's got his arm in the water to give him some extra leverage, some extra steering.
You can see the Kiwis pushing up on the corner. If they can get around there as quick as possible, they're going to take their advantage even more into that inside bend.
Oh, gee, the boats are getting close, though. The race could be won or lost with a collision here.
Squeezing away again. Hold on this, guys. It's on 37. Squeezing away again. Squeezing away again. Squeezing away again. Good work. Got it out to half a length here, guys.
They're pushing away from each other, trying to get the best line.
Oh, good work by both coxswains there to avoid what could have been something very, very dangerous and very costly.
The stroke! Yeah! Legs! 500 metres! Nuts! Yeah!
Neck and neck coming up on the last 500 metres, and the key now is to keep the run in the boat. That's going to be the key for the Australians. They are beginning to tire. The Kiwis are powering home.
The Kiwis need to get their length up on the Australians because they've got the outside bend coming in the final. It's going to be really interesting to see if the Australians can hold on. You can see there Francis Hegarty to stroke, turning around to see where the finish is.
Kiwis lifting their stroke rating. The Australians looking around, as you said, not a good sign. Beginning to worry, beginning to panic. The Kiwis look like they might have them.
Head to head, look at that. The Kiwis are now starting to push up. The coxswain of the Australians is running over a few boys there, and the coxswain of New Zealand is making a great line.
The boys in the water can be deceptive. Don't be fooled because it's very difficult to gauge. The river is still on a turn here, so we can't gauge exactly who's in front. First one stroke, then the next stroke. They're swapping the lead. It's barely a canvas in it.
400 metres to go. New Zealanders are pushing out quite hard at the front. It's going to be really interesting coming this final turn.
Kiwis have got it. They've got it by about a third of a boat length at the moment, but Australia coming back again on the inside. Sinew and muscle straining, aching in the neck and shoulders. Legs pounding against the stretcher. Who's in front now?
And spinning with the flares. And speed. There. There. Start pulling them over the
It's
legs.
neck and neck. Both crews looking across. You can see there, coming up to the finish line, it's going to be very close.
Both crews rating to the maximum now. 44, 45 strokes to the minute. It's almost impossible to maintain this rate. Can they do it to the finish? Who's in front? Is it Australia? Is it New Zealand?
Oh, it's going to be Australia.
Oh, no, I don't know. Australia, maybe. Oh, you can't tell.
It's so close.
What a phenomenal race.
Oh, the Kiwis charging home there, and I'd have to put my money on the Kiwis. They were just charging home. The Australians fading.
I wanted to say Australia, but now I've got my doubts. You've half convinced me. The Australians are raising their arms. They've got no idea, and I don't think the Kiwis have either. This is as close a finish as you could possibly get.
New Zealand there sitting in their swift boat, just wanting to know the result, as are the Australians, backing it down, waiting for the judges, and so are we.
There is not a split inch in this. On the replay, it's still difficult to tell. Gee. Ooh. Is it I think Australia might have got it. Oh, they have!
Australia have won it. Held off a charging New Zealand. What a fantastic result.
Didn't just hold them off, though. They've come back. The New Zealanders had a clear half length coming into the final bend. The Australians have come up on their inside and have found renewed strength at the finish and have taken a magnificent victory. A big vote of thanks to the Vibe Hotel here on the coast for their outstanding hospitality too. It's the best spot to watch the regatta and to stay next time you're on the coast. A great day in paradise, particularly for the Australian 8-oar crew with a magnificent victory over New Zealand. On behalf of Nick Hudson, I'm Gary Wilkerson. Hope that you've enjoyed the Griffith University Paradise Regatta.